Okay, so this is going to be a no BS setup guide of how to set up a Facebook ad account from scratch. And I'm going to be documenting the exact process that we use for one of our clients. You can see here on the 5th of May, this ad account was spending $0. And over the next 4 weeks, we scaled it to spending just over $170,000. As a result, it resulted in 31,274 leads at a cost per lead of $5.47. And that went on to generate in the back end about $400,000 in cash collected and about $900,000 in total sales revenue because we were selling a coaching program and we had payment plans and stuff like that. I've documented that launch and the money we made and how we made it on other videos on this channel. So I won't go into the details there. You can just search for them and find them. I break down the whole process. But today I want to specifically talk about how to set up the ad account from scratch. So before I dive in and actually walk you through step by step how to set it up, I do just want to quickly look at just the basics of an ad account just to give you guys some context. If you're brand new, this will be useful. Maybe if you're a bit more advanced, you would obviously seen this stuff before. So there's basically 3 levels that you need to think about when you're setting up your Facebook ads. We've got the campaign level, the ad set level, and then the ad level. There are lots of different nuances and different things that go on at each level, but I just want to simplify everything and basically just tell you all the information that you need to know. It might not be everything, but this will be enough for you to get started and start making money with ads. So at the campaign level, this is basically this is what goal you're going for. So for most people watching this, it's going to be either leads or sales. If you're running an e-commerce business or you're selling low ticket digital products and you're sending people to a sales page, you're going to be selecting sales. If you want to generate leads, whether that be email leads, then for maybe a high ticket coaching program, or maybe you're generating, contact leads for you to be able to outbound dial these people, then you're going to pick leads, okay? And there's different goals, but they're the 2 main ones that you're going to use. Now, the ad set level, this is where you're going to set the targeting. So this is where you basically say to Facebook, hey, these are the people that I want to target. Now, it's going to be dependent, obviously, on your business and your offer and your ideal customer, but this is where you set the country, the age ranges, the genders. You can do some interests. You can also tell people what platforms you want to target on, whether that be just Facebook or Instagram and different stuff like that as well. So this is like specifically the targeting of where your ad is going to show up and who it's going to show up to. Then on the 3rd level, we've got the ad level. So this is the actual ad itself. So this is the video that you're going to upload. It's the image that you're going to upload. It's the piece of text that goes along with the ad in the newsfeed. This is where you put the link where your ads are going to send people to. So this is the actual ad that they are visibly going to see inside the newsfeed or on stories or wherever you choose to target, right? Now, typically, you can have multiple of these set up. So you can have multiple campaigns, and within each campaign, you can have multiple ad sets. And within each ad set, you can have multiple ads. So for example, we could be running a campaign to generate sales for our low ticket digital product, right? It could be like a low ticket course for like $47. That could be a campaign. And within that campaign, we could target people from the UK, people from the US, and people from Canada. That's just an example, okay? I'm not saying you have to do that. But then within each ad set, we could have one ad that's a video, one ad that's an image, and another ad that is like a story style vertical video, right? And we could test those different ads to see which one works best to the UK audience, to the US audience, and to the Canadian audience. So this is what I said, this is like the creative. Now, the idea is that you can actually test different elements at each level. So you can test different copy, you can test different images, test different videos. And at the ad set level, you can test different, interests, genders, countries to see which works best with your product. So that's kind of like an overview. So what I want to do now is actually run you through the whole process step by step. So right now, this is like basically a testing ad account for us. We don't have any data in here. And you're going to be starting off on a page that looks very similar to this. Now, what you want to do is go to the create button in the top left, and you're going to click create. So we're at the campaign level, right? So it says create new campaign, and this is the different options about the campaign. Now I mentioned there's multiple different options as an objective or a goal, but the two main ones are going to be leads and it's going to be sales. Let's just say, for example, I'm going to generate leads for my high ticket coaching program. So I'm going to click leads. Obviously, if you're doing sales, then click sales. The rest of the stuff you really don't want to worry about. Now I'd leave everything else the same. When you press continue, Facebook is going to give you a suggestion. What you want to do is ignore the suggestion and click the manual leads campaign setup. And you're going to click continue. So now this is going to create basically the shell of our campaign. So you can obviously name it the product maybe that you're trying to sell, but I'm just going to do campaign 1 in this example, okay? So this is campaign 1. You can scroll down, and now I like to keep everything like this. So none of this is selected as on. I keep everything exactly the same. And this is the entire campaign setup. So I'm going to click next. So now you can see we've gone to the ad set level. So you can see new leads ad set here, new leads ad set here. So we've actually finished the campaign setup. So we've finished this. Now we're moving on to the ad set setup. So first off, you're going to look at the conversion location. Now, again, lots of different options. For the most part, you want to click website because we're going to be sending people to our website to opt in with their name and email address. The same as if you're doing a sales page for an e-commerce store, you're going to send people to your website, right? So this is like the conversion location, which is basically where are you sending people? So I'm going to be sending them to a website. Now, performance goal, I'm going to keep this the same. Now with the pixel, you're going to select the pixel. If you haven't set up a pixel before, then there's loads of tutorials on YouTube for free showing you how to set up a pixel, but it's super simple. This is basically just going to allow us to track the people who click the ad, who buy from us. So we actually have accurate data. The conversion event is going to line up to basically the goal of your campaign. So for us, for example, in this instance, it's going to be lead, right? You could do purchase if you were doing direct to a sales page. And we're going to do lead because we're trying to generate leads. And now it's going to track everyone who becomes a lead. And all of this, I would just leave. I would leave the budget. Now, again, this is a whole thing in itself. I can't tell you what budget to set for your offer because it depends on your funnel economics, the lifetime value. It depends on your target CPA, just a bunch of different things. So again, there's some videos on this channel where I talk about Facebook's algorithm and how to set proper budgets. If you want to deep dive into how to accurately set budgets for your offer and your price point, then you need to go and watch those videos. As a general rule, again, this is general, this is not specific advice, I'm going to start running and testing at £10 a day for my lead campaigns, right? I'd set the budget. This is a daily budget. I would leave everything else the same. Now we're going to go down to our audiences. So this is where we're going to actually specifically tell Facebook who we want to target. Now it's going to automatically select Advantage Plus audience. I'm going to click here, switch to original audience options. And again, it's going to try and get you to use Advantage Plus, but I'm going to use original audience. And now it's going to give me more control of who actually sees my ad. So I'm assuming if you're doing this right now, you are not going to have any data or any past customers. So I'm not really going to talk about different like custom audiences. I'm just going to do this as if you were targeting like cold traffic, cold audiences, people who've never heard of your business before. So here is where you can select your location. Again, this is going to be dependent on you, whether you are only targeting customers in the UK, or you can do worldwide, or you can do US, Canada. Again, this is going to be specific to your offer. And this is where you can set more of the demographics. So again, age range, very specific to you and your offer. You will know what age the people of your ideal customers are. My biggest advice is to go wide if possible. So don't restrict yourself to be like, 25 to 28-year-olds, because you want to give Facebook a bit of room to do its work. So generally, I would say we do like 18 to like 64. It depends on the offer, but again, we'll do 18 to 65, 64 plus. If we don't want to target people who potentially have low income, we might do 22 just to make sure we're not getting like university students and stuff. Again, it's going to be very dependent on your offer, but that's the age range. Gender, again, product specific, just choose which one you want to target. If it's, gender neutral, then just click all. Languages here, so I would always pick the language of obviously what your ad is going to be written in. I'm English, so it's going to be in English. And then this is where we can select the target interests. So I've done another video about this on my channel. A lot of people say that, the interest targeting doesn't work and you just want to go broad. I personally think or believe, or I know that with a new ad account that has no data, you really do in the beginning still need to use interest targeting. Then when the ad account has more data, you can go with no targeting and you can let Facebook do its thing and target the right people. But if you don't have any spend in your ad account and your pixel doesn't have a lot of data, then I would still highly recommend using interest targeting. And for that launch that I just mentioned, where we went from 0 to 170K in 4 weeks, we used interest targeting. We did use broad as well, but most of the ad sets had interest in it. So again, you just need to do some interest research to kind of understand what type of interests your market would want, right? So if this was a campaign marketing a fitness offer, maybe if I do like bodybuilding or something, right? Bodybuilding.com, right? If I was targeting like a build muscle fitness offer, then I would maybe target this. And you can see that the estimated audience size, take this with a pinch of salt, but realistically, like you don't want it to be anything below this. You want it to be like 500K plus into the millions. And you'll just notice that if you like change this around, so if I went to men, that audience size is probably going to get smaller. So if I click all, it's going to get bigger. I'm targeting the UK, but if I wanted to do the States as well, then, you would see that audience size would also get a lot bigger as well. So obviously what you put in data into here, it's going to affect the size of your audience. But like minimum, I would do 500K. But, a million plus is also pretty good. So you would have to work out what locations and what interests and demographics you would want to target for your offer. Then we can move down to placement. So again, Facebook's going to automatically put Advantage Plus placements on. In the beginning, I would just leave it as all. Like I wouldn't touch that. As you get more data and get more specific, you can test different placements. And by placements, I mean, if you do manual placements, you can kind of select, I only want this to be shown on the Instagram feed, or I only want it to be shown in, Instagram stories. I don't think it's a big deal. Just in the beginning, just do Advantage Plus and Facebook will kind of like figure that out for you. Again, further down the line, if you want to get more detailed, if you want to start creating specific ads for specific placements, you can, but it's really in the beginning, not a needle mover for your business. So at this point, we've completed the ad set setup where we've done all of our targeting. The name, I just literally name it the interest. So I would just go to the very top and I would just name it bodybuilding.com. So that way, when I know I go into my campaign, I can see, this is the ad set that is targeting bodybuilding.com. I don't like to do multiple interests within one ad set. Why? Well, if I have, bodybuilding.com and MyProtein and the gym, and I run that ad set, then if it works, great, but I don't know which interests work. Was it bodybuilding.com? Was it MyProtein? Was it the gym? And the same point, if it didn't work, maybe bodybuilding.com was a good interest to use, but because I paired it up with like 4 other interests and those other interests didn't work, it meant that the whole ad set as a whole didn't work. So only test one target interest at one time. That way you can understand fully what works and what doesn't. So at this point, we've finished the ad set setup. We've told people like we've told Facebook who we want to target and where we want to show the ad. So now we're going to start setting up the ad. So if we go back to here, you're going to click next. Now, this is where you set up the ad. So you want to pick the Facebook page. Obviously, I'm just going to click client generators. You want to go to create ad, and all of this is going to be already set for you. You want to click off this, make sure this isn't ticked. And now you're going to scroll down to the ad creative. We've actually switched this around recently. This used to be below. But what you want to do actually first then, because it's in line, is you want to set up the website URL. So you want to set up wherever you want the ad to send people. So if I go here, I'm going to send people to the media buyer memo, and I'm going to plug it in here. So this is going to be the link that the ad sends to. So you can see as soon as you start inputting information here on the right-hand side, it's going to start generating a preview. So right now, if someone clicked this Learn More button, it is going to send them to the media buyer memo, which I'll shamelessly plug right now is completely free. You get a ton of bonuses just for signing up. And if you like videos like this, then it's a lot more effort for me to make a video. I send regular emails out to my email list. Again, it's completely free. So if you want more training, more in-depth reviews, and me just generally documenting what we're doing for my own businesses and our clients' business, then join the Media Buyer Memo. Like I said, it's completely free and it will help you grow your business with paid ads. Anyway, moving on. So you want to put your website URL in here. You can leave the rest. And you can see here now, this is the ad creative. So we've got the media, which is basically the video or the image that you're going to use. We've got the primary text, we've got the headline, and we've got the description. And we've got the call to action. All right, call to action, don't worry about it. Maybe if you feel like these are more relevant to your offer, then you can use it. But it's not a big needle mover, so just do Learn More. It's a pretty safe bet to use. Next up is the description. I honestly wouldn't even worry about this too much. I don't even use the description anymore in my campaigns. The headline, so this is this part at the bottom of the ad here. So we want this to say something different. So I'm going to go to my ads and I'm going to click headline 1. Obviously, you would actually write a proper headline for your ad. And once I input it here, you can see here that it's going to say headline 1 now. So this would be the new headline. The primary text, this is the bit that goes above the creative. So again, you would actually write a good ad, but I'm just going to do ad copy 1. So I'm just going to input it in here. And you can see that now it previews it here as well. And then we want to add the media. So you can choose when you class add media, add image, or add video. I'm going to add an image. You can obviously upload an image if you want. I'm just going to use this space guy. It's going to start letting you basically crop depending on the placements. So you just want to make sure everything is in line as much as possible. I just select original for this one, so it just kind of sends the original. I don't want it to be like cut off weird like this. So yeah, you just want to do that. Then next, it's going to ask you to optimize. I generally, just as a general rule, will just click all optimizations on and then click it off just to make sure that all the optimizations are off. And I'm going to click done. And you can see now that I've got my ad copy, I've got my image, and I've got my headline. Okay. And then pretty much everything is done. So you can do the preview of the URL to make sure that the link is working. But we've got all of the creative stuff here. And yeah, it's already generated the website URL. You want to make sure this is on to none. Language is off. And yeah, everything looks good. If you want to do like an advanced preview just to make sure that it looks good on all of the placements, then you can. Remember, we selected all placements. So you can see it's, Instagram feed, Facebook feed, stories, blah, 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 right? Just to make sure that it all looks good. Now, I would label this ad. So for example, I would call this ad copy 1, image 1, right? Because I'd actually do this. AC is ad copy 1, image 1, right? Because this is the first image that we're using. Now, like I said, within each ad set, you will actually have multiple ads. So I like to test 2 to 4 ads within one ad set. Any more than that, I just feel like the budget gets diluted too much. So as a general rule, again, everything, but just as a general rule, with all this type of content and business in general, everything needs context. So these absolutes that I'm saying in terms of only 2 to 4 ads per ad set, obviously there is context needed and there's differences depending on the business. I'm just trying to give you like a general rule. People speak in absolutes online and it's just fucking stupid because everything requires context and it matters a lot when you're giving out advice. So I'm just trying to give you like a general rule of setting up the ads here. So as a general rule, we're going to have 2 to 4 ads within this ad set. So the easy way to create variations of this ad is you're going to go to here and you're going to click duplicate. Now I'm going to create 2 copies. So I'm going to make sure that it says 2 here. And you want to make sure that everything else is selected as off. So you're going to click duplicate. And you can see now I've got these 2 ad sets which are copies here. So I'm going to click onto one of them. And here you can decide what you want to test. You can test the copy, or you can test there's another C, which is the creative. So you can kind of decide, okay, is the ad copy going to be the biggest needle mover, or is it going to be the creative? In this example, I'm going to test the ad copy, but I could also at the same time use the same ad copy and use a different image or a different video. I just don't have those preloaded into my ads manager, so I'm just not going to do it in this example. So for me, I've got ad 1 here, and it's going to have ad copy 1, headline 1. Ad 2 is going to have ad copy 2, headline 1. Ad 3 is going to be ad copy 3, headline 1. And it's going to have the same image as well. So you can see here that the only difference between these 3 ads is the ad copy, right? So this could be, if it's a fitness example, this could be ad copy focusing on getting Beachbody ready for summer. Ad copy 2 could be focusing on how to get a new PB with your deadlift. And ad copy 3 could be about, putting on muscle without getting injured or something like that. I don't know. Just coming up with these examples, obviously, on the fly, but that's just how you would do it, right? And again, everything else would stay the same. So if we go back to our ad example, I'm going to do ad copy 2, image 1. So the image would stay the same, but I would just obviously come down to the ad copy and I would get rid of the old ad copy that I use and I'd paste in the new one, right? Obviously mine just says ad copy 2. But I would create my ad copy in a document like this and I would copy ad copy 3. I would go down to the 3rd ad within the ad set. I would paste in ad copy 3. And then I would come up here and then I would change the name. So you can see right now, we've got 1 campaign, we've got 1 ad set, and we've got 3 ads within those ad set. Now, like I mentioned, you can have multiple ad sets within 1 campaign. Now, the idea here, at this level, at the ad level, we're testing the copy or the creative, right? You could test the headline as well, but you want to start testing the copy or creative. And at the ad set level, you're going to test the targeting. So in the beginning, if you've got no data, probably the biggest needle mover for you to test is the different interests. So what I would do is find, 5 to 10 different target interests that you want to test. And then you would create 5 to 10 different ad sets within this campaign. And again, the easiest way to do that right now is to just go to thebodybuilding.com, which is our ad set. You want to click the 3 dots and you want to click duplicate. And we've already created 1. So if we want to create 5, we obviously just need to do 4 more. And you're going to click duplicate. So what we're doing now is we've got 1 campaign and now we've got 5 ad sets. And within that ad set, you've got the 3 same different ads. Obviously, there's a slight variation on each of the ads, but they're the same 3 ads within all the ad sets. So now we're going to click on the first copy and we're just going to find a different target interest, okay? So right now, we've got bodybuilding.com. You might have some ideas of what interests you want to target. Again, this isn't a video showing you how to find interests, but if you know your customer and your business enough, it should be pretty easy. Easiest way to do it is just click suggestions, and you can see here, Facebook will give you a ton of different potential interests. So, in the bodybuilding world, there's literally loads. So I could just do weight training. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to get rid of bodybuilding.com. I'm just going to double check the audience size to make sure it's big enough. This is definitely big enough. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change out that name. So this is weight training. This is the original bodybuilding.com. So I won't change that. I'm going to go down to this one. I'm going to find a different one here. I'm just going to click on, I'm just going to randomly choose these. But again, you would pick one that make sure that it's obviously relevant to your offer. And you're just going to select the interest. Make sure you got rid of the original interest that you had in here. So for mine, for example, is bodybuilding.com. So I'm going to go to powerlifting. I'm going to get rid of bodybuilding.com. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to check the audience size. And then I'm going to change that. And you'll just do this one more final time. So come down here, suggestions. Let's just pick one, protein. Okay. Check the audience size and go up. And boom, this is it. So in this example right now, I've got one campaign. I've got 5 ad sets spending £10 a day. So this is going to spend £50 a day, this campaign. And then within that, I have got the free ads within each. Now, you would click publish. I'm not going to do that just because, the ad copy and stuff isn't real, so I don't want to mess up the account or anything like that. But you could, once you press review and publish, it's going to submit it, and then it'll go into a review period where Facebook will review the ads to make sure that it goes by their policy. And then once they're approved, they will automatically start spending. So again, at the campaign level, we've just got campaign 1. At the ad set level, we've got the 5 different ad sets. And then at the ad level, we obviously have the 3 different ads within each of the ad set. And that's basically what I did for that launch for the client, where we spent $170K within 4 weeks. Obviously, our volume was a lot higher. So for example, we had a lot more ad sets within the campaign. So our interest targeting ad set had, probably, in the beginning had 20 plus different interests. And we were spending $20 a day. And then we had another campaign as well, which wasn't targeting interest, but it was targeting lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences basically say, hey, if you've got a list of customers or an email list, Facebook will find people similar to those audiences. Again, I won't go into lookalikes in this video because it's already getting pretty long. I just wanted to show you the setup. But basically, I had an identical campaign, and let's just call it campaign 2. And within that campaign 2, there was lookalike audience 1, lookalike audience 2, lookalike audience 3, lookalike audience 4, lookalike audience 5. And I basically had loads of different lookalike audiences. And then I had a third campaign, which was targeting warm audiences. So for our client, I was retargeting their email list, their Instagram followers, their Facebook followers, and just different different audiences that they had accumulated over the past few years. So I had 3 main campaigns. And because we wanted to spend the money quickly, we actually separated the campaigns out by country as well. So we had one campaign for the US, one campaign for Canada, one campaign for the UK, and towards the end, we also start targeting Australia as well. So we actually split it up by country just because we knew, number one, it would convert to those countries, and we wanted to spend a lot more money more quickly. So by separating it out 4 times, it basically quadrupled the budget that we would spend. But essentially, that's it. That's the setup that I like to do. And then obviously, if I let these run for a few days and then I found out that this one wasn't performing, then I would turn this one off, and then I could replace it with a different interest, right? So maybe powerlifting didn't work, but protein did. So what I would do then is duplicate the protein one like this, and then I would go down to protein and find an interest that is more similar to protein. So maybe powerlifting doesn't work, but protein works. So maybe energy bar would work. Maybe health and wellness would work. And again, I would just keep going down that rabbit hole of finding interests that do work and then trying to find more similar interests to that to see if it would work. And yes, you can also test a broad campaign as well. So by broad, I mean, let's just say, for example, you didn't want to have a target interest. So once you have more data, you can do broad campaigns where you actually get rid of the interest targeting and you just let Facebook target the demographics with no interest. And if you've got enough data in your account and enough data on your pixel, then Facebook might actually be able to find your ideal customers without you giving it any targeting. So that's what I mean by broad. And I would just label this campaign as broad. And that's it. Hope that was helpful. Obviously, there is a full process to go from spending 0 to 170K within a month. It actually follows this process. I call it the $10 million ad structure. And it actually goes through the 4 different phases of starting the campaign, testing the different interests, and then scaling it as well, which is phase 4. You actually get this for free when you join the Media Buyer Memo. So you can see here that you get the ad document. So I'll send you this document so you can look at the detail. And then I also have a full video breakdown that walks through this document step by step. So if you would like that, then you just got to click the link in the description or whatever. It's completely free to join the email list. The first email that I send you as soon as you sign up is going to send you the list of bonuses for you to be able to access it. So if you would like that, great. And then other than that, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions on the setup, or if there's anything else you would like me to create a video on, then just let me know in the comments below, and I will try and make as many of these walkthrough videos as possible. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.